Okay, dear friends, I'm back. Today I'll be looking at the loom of the VulnNet Internal on the Tryhackme. I have already launched this loom earlier, and I'd like to use the attack box provided by the Tryhackme to do this penetration. As you can see on the right, I have already done the map scanning with the usual options like a scene scan, versus scan, and the default script scan. Maybe I can make it bigger by zoom in, so you can make much more clearer what I'm doing. So from the map scanning results, as you can see, there are several open ports like SSH surface, also like a Samba surface, and the remote sync surface. As you know, the remote sync surface can allow us to transfer files or directories between the local machine and the remote one, and so that we can do we can perform like a backup, and also can do the file migrations, something like that. And also the service, the NFS, network file sharing service running. So what we are going to do next is to do the enumeration for the Samba service, because as I mentioned in the other video, if the target has a service running like Samba, like FTP, and NFS, such a service must become our first order objectives. So we can use the SMB client to do some enumeration to see whether there is shares. Yeah, it is. So we can use the same command to access the shares list, and there are two directories. Go to the temp directory, list, rather than AH command. We can get it down service file, and let's go back, go to the data, and we can get the data and also the business requirement. I think requirement like that we can quit, and then we can cut the service. I think we got the first service flag, so we can make a copy without any issue, right? We can put it in here. Let's submit, which is correct. I hope so. Yeah, it's correct. And also we can check by cat the content of like data, but nothing there, and the business, nothing there. So what we are going to do next is to enumerate the NFS. You know, NFS can allow us to share files and directories between different machines. So how to know such information, we can use the show mount tool, and the option is E, and the IP address, it does exist, the directory which is being shared to other machines. So we can set up the local directory like mk make dir and the share JSON, and we can mount, and the type is an FS, and the IP address opt conf, and the share. Okay, but mount, bad usage, mount, I think mount type right? NFS conf share. A bit weird. Oh, sorry. Mount T rather than type NFS. Sorry about a bit confused at this point. And share. Yeah, no problem. And then we can go inside this share JSON directory, list the content, and we can go to the Redis. You know the Redis? Go to the Redis. You know, Redis is database. And we can cat the Redis. You know, the Redis is a non-relational database, not like MySQL. So let's scroll up to see whether we can find some interesting information or sensitive information rather. Let's scroll up. You know, the configuration always contains like a password and the username. We must be very careful, otherwise you will miss important information. Maybe we can use the grep to search some, you know, we are just interested in credentials. Redis. Yeah, we got the required password. So maybe we can make a note of this information onto our notebook in case we need this information later. So now we can connect to the Redis and the IP address and the password is, we can make paste. Let's hit enter. The first thing we can check how many keys inside this database, the servers. But the next question is about the internal flag. So we can get the internal. We just make a copy, so we do not need to type in. So we got the next flag, and I think this is the internal flag. Maybe we need to first copy into this clipboard, and we can copy from clipboard and then let's submit. So I think next, you know, the second key is also list. So maybe this key contains some sensitive information like a username and password. So we can, but before we can get it down, we need to get to know the type of this. We can make a copy of this key. Yeah, I think we can know at this point the author list belongs to the list. So we cannot use the get command to retrieve information. We need to use the lrange command and the author list, and then we can specify the range what we want to retrieve. So we can got the result and we can make a copy, and then apparently this is encoded in base 64. Yeah, we got the authorization information for remote sync. And this is the username and the IP address with the password. So I think now we need to exploit this remote sync service. And what we can do async. You know, this is the free command line tool which allow us to transfer files and directories between different machines, between local one and the destination. So we can use the async. We just follow the instruction, but we of course here we need to use the actual IP address. Let's hit enter. Yeah, files. So we need to list the sync async. The files, but we need to pass or supply the password, because we have already make a note of that. Oh, no, not this one. I think the password for the remote sync is this one. Yeah, authentication field on module files. Oh, sorry, maybe we need to specify the username like yeah, displayed over here. So what we can do, async. And async connect, and the IP address, and right, and the files. And then we can put the password here. Yeah, we got another subdirectory, and what we need to make a furthermore enumeration, sys internal, and we need to supply the password again. Yeah, I think it looks like we are within the home directory of the user, and the username is the sys internal. And as you can see, as we look through the all directories and files, can you notice this one, the SSH? So next thing naturally we need to see is whether inside this directory there is a private key, and then we can get or retrieve the private key data and to access, but nothing there. So the other way, we can upload our public key to the target through remote sync service. But before we do that, we need to copy from SSH. But in our attack box, there isn't a private key yet or public key yet. We need to generate the key pairs first. This would be very easy. We just use the SSH keygen to generate the key. Then we can copy from the my home directory ID pub, and we can limit authorized key, right? Authorized keys. Then we can use the async, remote sync, and authorized keys. Async, username, connect, files sys internal. I hope everything I input is correct. And we can paste the password. Yeah, no problem. Then we can SSH to the target. And the username should be sysinternal. And the IP address. Yes, accept. As you can see, we have already logged in to the target via SSH. And we can list the content. And we can get the user flag. And we can make a copy. And we can copy to the clipboard. And then we can submit our answer. Which is correct. So now, the next objective for us is to elevate our privilege to root user. And of course, we need to do some local enumeration. For example, like a sudo. But we didn't get the password for this user. Sysinternal. And also we can use the find command as usual to find to see whether we can locate or find out commands which have the SUID bit, but nothing interesting or nothing what we expect to be returned. So anyway, we need to do some furthermore enumeration, like navigate to the root directory. Yeah, there is one directory, the TeamCity, caught our attention immediately, which is very weird. You know, in the normal Linux operating system, we cannot see that this sort of the directory, and the ownership is root. And also we can make some research about the TeamCity. Yeah, this is the CI/CD tools, which developed by the JetBrains. You know, the JetBrains is very a good company. Yeah, like this one. And the TeamCity is a general purpose CI/CD software platform that allow us for flexible workflows, collaboration, and development practices. And this TeamCity, normally the default port number for TeamCity is 811. You can make port number, 8111. We can check that whether this is in case for this machine. We can use the SSTUMP and grep. Yeah, it does exist. So I think next we need to exploit or utilize the TeamCity to get to the root shell, because the TeamCity is running by the root user. And how to do it? I think now, you know, we can use some help from the website. We can open up our browser first. Wait a moment. As you can see, this surface is accessible only by the local user, because the listening IP address is localhost. So it means that we cannot directly access this port number through the browser. We need to set up the tunnel or port forwarding by SSH. So how to do it? We can open up another tab. Use the SSH to specify. Maybe I can make it bigger, so you can see what's going on. And then the local listening port number on the attack box, we can use the same port number. And the destination is the local host, and the port number is 8111. Sys internal, and the IP address. So by running this command, our traffic going to the 8111 of the local host will be tunneled to the target through SSH tunnel or SSH communication channel. We can hit enter. Now let's open up our browser, and we can access the TeamCity application, because we have set up the listening port number on 8111. We can confirm by SSH. This is our attack box, TUMP, and the port number. As you can see, it's listened on this port number. And now we can go back to our browser, and here, no system administrator found. Login as super user. You know the super user? Of course, always we need to use the super user to make privileged operation. But here, we need to supply the authentication tokens. We didn't have yet. But do you remember, we have already got the shell of the target. We can go back to the shell. Oh, sorry, I think this one. If we go to the TeamCity, and there is logs directory, so we can use the grep and ignore the capital or normal one, and we need to search recursively, and the word I'm looking for is token, and the logs. Oh, some errors. Maybe we can redirect all error to the black hole. Here we got some tokens. For example, we can make a copy to see whether this is working for our case. We can go back to our browser. Let's submit and log in. Yeah, we successfully log in as the super user. So what we are able to do next, we need to make exploitation for the TeamCity. And I have already make research on that and open up this website, the exploit nodes for the TeamCity, which is very wonderful. You can see we can log in as an admin user. We just got the session of the super user and create a new project. Yes, of course we can do that. Create a project. And we can create a project manually. The name we can name it like a JSON. And we can follow the instruction. The project, a new project is created. Create. Okay, we can create. And we can create a build configuration, yeah, as described here, and build, and we can, in the building configurations page, build steps, We can name to like test. Yeah, anything, any name we can create. And we can go back to our project and go to the test what we've generated just now, and edit configuration settings and go to the build steps, and we can add the build step, and then we can select command line. The next thing would be put a Python reverse shell. Maybe we do not need to utilize the reverse shell. We just change the bin bash, the permission setting. So here we can like change mode, add the SUID bit bin bash, and then we can, before we save, you can check our bin bash. Yeah, this is the normal bin bash. The normal user, this doesn't have a SUID bit. But if we save this configuration, save, and then got it, we can run. Now if we go back to our shell, we can check the bash. As you can see, this after we configure the build configuration, now the bash is different, has SUID bit. It means that the normal user like sys internal can run this command and with the temporary root privilege. So we can use the bin bash. As you can see from the banner, we have already become the root user. Then we can navigate into the root directory, and we can get the root flag without any issue. Then we can make a copy of our root flag, and we can make a copy and then paste in this question. Let's submit. Yeah, congratulations. So this, which is fine. So we have successfully and smoothly, sorry about that, completed this room with different tasks. And also we got like retrieved the root flag, got the root shell. So that's all I'd like to go through this machine or this room of the VulnNet Internal. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.